Hi friends, welcome to this latest episode of the Nationalist View. We have with us a very special guest, Mr. Salah Uddin Shoaib Choudhury. Mr. Choudhury, thank you so much and welcome to the show. Mr. Choudhury is founder editor of Bangladesh leading weekly Blitz. He is also a counter-terrorism expert and he writes regularly in several international publications and international journals, as well as appear on several international television channels and public speaking platforms, as well as international conferences on geopolitics and strategic affairs. Today, we are going to talk about the impact of West Bengal elections in India, in Bangladesh. So it's an interesting topic that the elections have happened in India, and is there any impact in Bangladesh? Because for those viewers who, just to give you a brief background, that before 1947, what we today call Bangladesh and what we today call West Bengal, so they were part of the same unit called Bengal, and then after partition, it became a part of that remained in India, which became West Bengal, and the rest went to Pakistan, which became East Pakistan. And then in 1971, this East Pakistan got liberated. Actually, Bangladesh got liberated, and a new country was born in which India played an important role in supporting the Mukti movement. So after that, the relationship between India and Bangladesh, so it has been blow hot, blow cold at times, but still they remain. The close ties have remained, and but during Muhammad Yunus regime over the last couple of years, this relationship had really nosedived. And one of the key issues between India and Bangladesh is the illegal immigration of Bangladeshis across the border. And West Bengal is a state which shares the largest border with Bangladesh. So one of the members of parliament of Bangladesh, so he also recently raised this issue in parliament and regarding the West Bengal elections. So it's an interesting thing because Bharatiya Janata Party, which rules at the center, has won and it has replaced Trinamool Congress, which was there for 15 years and getting more than two-thirds seats. One of the key election plank of Bharatiya Janata Party was to send back the illegal immigrants who have come across the border from Bangladesh, to send them back to Bangladesh. We don't know when it is going to happen, how it is going to happen, and how much it is going to happen. But there seems to be definitely a relation between what is happening in West Bengal in terms of no impact, the political impact, and the status of affairs in the situation in Bangladesh. Also, we are going to talk about the current state of affairs in Bangladesh under the new government. But Mr. Chaudhary, who is joining us from Dhaka. So, Mr. Chaudhary, please share your thoughts about how you perceive the results of the West Bengal elections in India, and how different sections of Bangladesh government and society and media and intelligentsia and politicians, how they are looking at it. Sorry, I generally give a brief intro, but this time it has become too long because I had to give the complete back. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Arunji. As you have mentioned, that before 1947, 14th of August, actually the Bangladesh was a part of Bharat. And culturally, spiritually, the Bengalis of this part, the so-called East Pakistan, and the Bengalis in West Bengal, we have so many things in common. And that feeling was greatly deepened when we fought the war of independence, and the West Bengal, I mean the Indian government, they granted shelter to almost 10 million, over 10 million refugees from Bangladesh who fled this country, escaping genocide of the Pakistani occupation forces. Now, after the independence of Bangladesh, the relationship were gradually growing between Dhaka and New Delhi. But unfortunately, 15 years ago, when Mamta Banerjee came to power, Trinamool Congress. She was playing double cards. In one hand, she was showing hostility towards Bangladesh when it was the question of the water sharing treaty, Tista water sharing treaty. Even as you remember, that back in 2013, uh, when there was a movement of the radical Islamists in this country, Mamata Banerjee extended support. And when His Excellency Narendra Modi ji in 2022, 2021 visited Bangladesh to participate in the golden jubilee of our independence, the, the same Islamist radical group, they began demonstrating against Narendra Modi ji, and even some of them went further by calling for waging jihad against Narendra Modi ji and even to behead him. At that time, Mamata Banerjee, being the Chief Minister of West Bengal, she openly expressed solidarity with the anti-Modi jihadists in this country. And because of her instigations, a very large number of people casualties took place. There were attacks on Hindu temples, there were attacks on Hindu houses, and so on. I mean, it was a very unfortunate incident when Mamata Banerjee was responsible. Then, following that incident, Mamata Banerjee tried to actually, in my opinion, destroy the image of Bangladesh and portray us as a terror patron nation like Pakistan by granting shelter to Bangladeshi jihadis in West Bengal. Lots of jihadis who fled Bangladesh, including the chief of the Jamaatul Mujahideen in Bangladesh, who fled this country. Actually, he escaped prison ban and fled this country in 2014. And until today, he is enjoying a refuge in West Bengal. And many other jihadist outfits such as Ansar al-Islam, Hizb ut-Tahrir, and very lately, due to the notorious rule of Muhammad Yunus, fascist Muhammad Yunus, as you know, there were extremely alarming mobilization of Pakistan-based jihadist groups, terrorist groups such as Lashkar-e-Taiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed, and all of them had a easy access to West Bengal. You know that even your country's law enforcement agencies, they have arrested some LET and JEM operatives who entered India from Bangladesh. So Mamata Banerjee facilitated such activities with the two, uh, double goals. One, to exert pressure on the Indian central government. At the same time, she wanted to play this jihad card, both with Bangladesh and with the central government of India. So she became a kind of in my personal opinion, of course, she emerged into a very big patron of jihadism. So this election and the result, which we know came out on the 4th of May, I believe as a Bangladeshi that this humiliating defeat of Trinamool Congress and Mamata Banerjee, this will definitely end that evil practice of giving shelter to Bangladeshi jihadists and terrorists into the Indian land, into Indian soil, and also to facilitate the possible terrorist plots of Pakistani ISI. This will end at the same time, as you know, that after the February 12th general election in Bangladesh, when Bangladesh Nationalist Party formed this government, I would like to humbly inform you next month, Bangladesh Prime Minister's first foreign visit is going to be New Delhi, India. So Bangladesh is trying to mend that damages because BNP has previously, when it was in power in 1991 and again in 2001, it had exhibited the eagerness and willingness and sincere uh, efforts of strengthening relations between Bangladesh and India because BNP, as a responsible political party, it understands that Bangladesh, being India's very micro neighbor, we cannot afford having hostile relationship or hostile tendencies with Bharat. So I hope and I sincerely believe that the defeat of Mamata, end of Mamata uh, era, is going to pave the path to a better relations between Bangladesh and India.
Sir, how do you see the various Islamist groups reacting to this election verdict in, in West Bengal? And also, can you throw some light on how much weight the issue of illegal immigrants from Bangladesh in India carry in the Bangladesh current public discourse?
Arunji, first of all, the jihadis in Bangladesh and pro-Pakistan forces, including the stranded Pakistanis, their reaction is similar as the reaction of Mamata Banerjee and her gang, as if they have been defeated, because they were considering West Bengal as a safe haven, and they knew if there was a combing operation against jihadism or terrorism in this country, they would easily find refuge in West Bengal. So they are violently reacting to the defeat of Mamata Banerjee and her Trinamool Congress. Now, to the next question about the illegal infiltrators from Myanmar and also from Bangladesh, I think when the relationship between the two countries, as I have been consistently saying, that Bangladesh actually does not have a diplomatic relations with Bharat or political relationship with Bharat. Our relationship is a bondage of blood. It's a spiritual relationship. It's a nature relationship because my forefathers even were born in Bharat. So I think when this relationship gets into normalcy, both the governments can discuss this issue, table this issue, and I personally believe that Bangladeshi government will never uh, show arrogance in not accepting the Bangladeshi illegal migrants in India, infiltrators in India. As you know, that the United States is also expelling foreign citizens who are illegal in that country, not only to Bangladesh, many other countries, and they are naturally accepting it because no country supports illegal infiltration. Even Bangladesh does not support. Although, unfortunately, we are burdened with the over 1.2 million Rohingya. So we understand the pain of the illegal infiltration. For that reason, I believe that a sensible government in Dhaka and a cordial government in New Delhi, having the common agenda of paving the path to strengthening and further strengthening relations between the two countries. And please remember, Arunji, that because of the fascist Yunus has destroyed the economic backbone of this country, hundreds of factories are shut down. And you know that when every country was facing crisis with the uh, fuel crisis, energy crisis due to the Iran and US war, India was extremely generous and has been generous in sending thousands of tons of diesel to Bangladesh. So, as I have been again saying, I have been always saying, and I would like to say again, that Bangladesh was created with the sacrifice of thousands of Indian soldiers and and officer. And to Bharat Mata, Bangladesh is like a child. So Bharat does not want Bangladesh to suffer. And I think with that spirit, the New Delhi and Bangladesh, Dhaka, will sort out all the crises or issues related to the illegal infiltrators.
Sir, as you rightly mentioned, now there is a new government, BNP government. So how would you assess the current state of governance and institutional stability in Bangladesh under the new government, especially when it comes to economic management, then law and order and democratic functioning? Because these were the three key issues which were hit very hard, very badly during Yunus regime.
Currently, you know that BNP was elected on 12th of February. They formed the government on 17th of February. And almost 2 years, actually 18 months before this election, the Army Chief General Wakar repeatedly said that when there is an elected government in this country, Army will return to the garrison by handing over all responsibility to the elected government. But only the day before yesterday, General Wakar has come up with a new statement stating that the army will play the role of a partner of the civil administration, meaning army is not feeling safe in returning to cantonment or garrison. They want to watch because you remember during this 18 months rule of the fascist Yunus, there was brutal attack on Hindus in this country. There was brutal attack on secular forces in this country. There was also attack on journalists and others in this country. So I think army is now staying and also becoming a part of the civil administration. It will give the opportunity to BNP to normalize the overall atmosphere because please remember that Yunus and his gang were mercenaries of the US deep state and Pakistani eyesight, and they have done everything to turn Bangladesh into a failed state. So now things are coming to normalcy very gradually, very slowly though, and BNP has lots of things to do because within that 18 months, Yunus and Islamists, including Jamaat Islami and Hizb ut-Tahrir, they have infiltrated, actually pushed their own cadres into the civil administration, military establishment, as well as judiciary. So it will be the tough challenge for BNP to identify those elements and expel them or uh, somehow expel, yes, abort them from those forces. So gradually things will improve and hopefully Bangladesh will get into normalcy within 6 months. But again, I would like to say nothing is possible for Bangladesh if we don't have support from India. And this is extremely vital for Bangladesh.
Sir, if we look at the current state of affairs of minorities, especially Hindus in Bangladesh, because they were of deep concern, especially during Yunus regime, there were a lot of atrocities and violence against them. So I just want to bring to your notice and to our viewers notice a couple of things that, recently we read the stories that a Hindu priest's body was found hanging from tree in, I think it was Chattogram district of Bangladesh. And then Chinmay Krishna Das, an ISKCON monk, you have also tweeted repeatedly about it. He still remains in prison and he's still not been able to get out of prison. And I believe his health is also falling. So, how do you see the state of affairs for minorities and especially Hindus in Bangladesh, and why these incidents are still happening, though a new government is in place? Are these carried out by Islamist groups? Are these carried out by some vested interest to create a wedge? And how is the state dealing with these issues?
Currently, you see, for BNP, by granting the opportunity to Jamaat of having 76 seats in the parliament, which is unprecedented, unimaginable. It never got more than 8 shades previously. So it's like snake in the sleeve or snake in the backyard. And as I have just mentioned, explained to you that there are these Islamists and even Pakistani ISI elements inside civil administration, police administration, and also military. And please remember that the Pakistan has pushed, sent actually a very large but rather unknown number of their own cadre of jihadis from Lashkar-e-Tayyiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed, etc., inside Bangladesh. So I think the incident that you have mentioned about the very unfortunate death of the Hindu priest or monk, and also the until now the imprisonment of Chinmay Krishna Das, it is not only unfortunate, but it is alarming. And BNP has to understand that its government is being sabotaged from inside. So BNP has to anyhow get rid of the Islamists and jihadis, and because they must understand that people gave them a landslide victory with a lot of hopes. So they have to definitely fulfill the hope and aspiration of the people. But again, I would like to say that this recent death of the Hindu monk and the imprisonment of Chinmay Krishna Das, it cannot be accepted by any sensible human being in this world. And BNP has to do everything to ensure that such inhuman acts never repeat, and they have to immediately release Chinmay Krishnadas from unlawful imprisonment.
My last question is that as it was kind of a breaking news for us that you have given us this breaking news through this program that the Bangladesh Prime Minister would be visiting India next month. And we have recently seen the appointment of a new High Commissioner, Indian High Commissioner in Bangladesh also, Mr. Dinesh Trivedi, who has been a veteran, kind of a public figure in Indian polity. So, do you see, with these kind of how do you see the assess the appointment of this new High Commissioner, and also if we juxtapose it with the Bangladeshi Prime Minister planning to visit India next month. So, is Bangladesh and India, so have they left the recent bad times behind, and do you see a possibility of breaking new ground?
From the point of view of the NP government, the Prime Minister Tariq Rahman, he is extremely proactive in not only normalizing relations with India but strengthening. But again, he has many elements within his government who are Islamists, who are ISI connected. At the same time, please remember that his foreign minister, Khalilur Rahman, was the national security advisor of Yunus regime. So I can only say that Tariq Rahman has to do the things, right things very boldly. And as to the expected arrival of a new Indian High Commissioner, Sri Dinesh Trivedi to Bangladesh, you have mentioned that he is a seasoned politician. He understands Bengal's sentiment. He speaks Bangla also. So I do believe that he's coming to Bangladesh as Indian High Commissioner will open a new vista of cooperation between the two countries, because Dinesh Trivedi is not a diplomat, he's a politician. So a politician dealing with a politician in Bangladesh, like Tariq Rahman and others. So I believe that I can only say that following the visit of our Prime Minister to Bharat in June, and immediately following the arrival of the new High Commissioner, I am only hoping to see some magic results. I repeat, magic results. And that magic result is possible because of the Prime Minister's next month's visit to India. At the same time, Indian High Commissioner in Dhaka, who is not just a High Commissioner, he is a seasoned politician and who understands the sentiment of Bengalis. So I really hope, and you and I both actually do all the best to Prime Minister Tariq Rahman At the same time, His Excellency Dinesh Trivedi and both of them should work together in unison in identifying the all and sorting out the problems and let the Bangladesh-Bharat relations become strongest and strongest ever, and let it become a history that Bangladesh finally understands and realizes the necessity of cooperation with India.
Thank you so much, sir, for decoding these current developments, and we'll be back soon again with another podcast and another conversation. And we hope to host Mr. Chaudhary back in our show again very soon. Thank you so much once again, sir, for taking time out from your busy schedule, and thank you, viewers, for watching it. Thank you.